All right, Democrats over the weekend picked a new chair, Ken Martin. So I said at the event last night that Ken Martin makes Reince Priebus look like Timothy Chalamet. And Reince texted me and said, Timothy Chalamet, pretty good. So that landed at least with one viewer.
Yeah.
Ken Martin came out and tried to show everybody that he's got the fire in the belly to take on Donald Trump. You be the judge. 106, please.
Now look, it's time for our party to do three things. First is to unite. We have to rebuild our coalition. We have to ignore the noise. We have to focus with intensity on the goal ahead, which is winning elections to improve people's lives. Right. Second, we need to go on offense. Trump's first weeks have shown us that what happens when amateur hour meets demolition derby, right? And at the same time, he's invited all these billionaires into the Oval Office to mine, extract, and profit off of our government. This is our time. Right now, it's the people's government. It's not another resource for ultra elites to exploit. Lastly, and the third, is we're going to take tonight to enjoy the moment, and we're going to build new alliances, but then we're going to get to work.
So, Dan, the members of Congress, including Schumer and Jeffries, do they look at that performance and say, he's the guy, we're going to ride that horse?
I imagine they made a phone call as soon as he got off the stage and said, easy there, big fella. You are not the national spokesperson who's going to be out there ahead of us. Like, you will speak a little bit when spoken to. Like, we are going to drive this. We will work on the message because we are the elected officials, and you will work with us. It reminds me a little of when Michael Steele took over and he had the famous, like, we're coming at you, even the one-armed midgets, I think was the line. Like, it was just out of control, a little bit excited. Look, I think you want enthusiasm. You want someone who's kind of ready to enter the ring. But the idea that, you know, he is going to be out there and is going to come up with the message and just take the fight to Trump. The party is going to take the fight to Donald Trump. The party will determine, working with the governors and elected officials. And no doubt some candidates will jump, you know, further out than others. But I am sure the leadership said to him, you work with us. We don't, you know, follow behind you.
Yeah, but keep in mind, just as a side note, all those folks weren't behind him, right?
Yes.
They all supported
stage,
Winkler. Is that it?
Wickler.
Wickler. So I think that there's a little bit of like, you know, who's going to be the alpha dog now?
Yeah.
I don't know that he can be the alpha, but metaphorically, I last night, I mean, if this is, that doesn't portend well. At some point, you know, I just don't think that was the best.
I wonder if he'll hire a comms director like Mike McCurry was, like someone who can be, or Sean Spicer.
Yeah.
Someone who can be
If only we could be so lucky.
From the comms position at the party, be on TV a lot. I mean, again, I'm just being honest. If I were the booker for a Sunday show, I wouldn't be super excited to have him on. I would every so often, but he's just not going to do that.
Well, and that was an undisciplined speech. I mean, just to be candid, that was very undisciplined, and it was like very emotional. And so as you're making first impressions with donors and with the party, you probably, again, I think they probably made some phone calls and said, congratulations, but by the way, let's kind of set straight how this works.
So Dan, obviously this is a week where they're starting on offense. They're having press conferences. They're sending letters to the administration. They're clearly, their iron triangle, where they're one side, along with the media, dominant media, and the Washington special interest groups on the left, that machinery's back up.